moments of clarity. You know, LGBTQ2X, 2S plus. I hope I got that right. No offense to anybody. It's gone insanely wild over the last decade, 2 decades. People are wondering why. Really, people like me. Many friends who were nuclear families, traditional people long before LGBTQ. Some bi, so what? Some try, so what? But why all of a sudden did it explode? Was it because there was a massive population of LGBTQ2S2RX in our country that were unrecognized? No, I do not think so. I believe society has caused this systemic reversal in the state of mind of the average youth in today's society by the restriction of allowing our children to express themselves in nationalist groups. The constant addressing of racialization of all individuals and that their cultural efforts, groups, ethics, or effort to revive their cultural way is attacked as an aggressive racist action, especially if they are a member of a white race, which I will never understand because it was the Spanish and the Portuguese that enslaved the blacks, okay? Not the English, it was the Spanish and the Portuguese. The English enslaved the Irish. Let's just have that over with. So, what the fuck was I saying? Why do people think that, yes, we caused this? Because everything that these children had to identify with as an individual, we have taken away. We didn't, our government did. So when our children want to go out and they want to identify as First Nations people and they want to practice their traditional ways, live off the land, maybe go take a couple acres in the bush off an old fire road, dig a fish pond, who knows, who cares? They will be interfered with in every form, way, shape, or manner if they can afford it. It's not illegal, but it's made illegal by the statutes of municipal governments, despite its validity in federal cultural courts. So, basically what I'm saying is, you've taken everything away from our youth. You've taken their race away from them, whatever it may be. They're not allowed to be proud of who they are by race. You've taken their sex away from them. They're not allowed to be proud of who they are by sex. You've taken their culture away from them. They're not allowed to be proud of their culture by race, or they're racist. You've taken their sexuality away from them. They're not allowed to be traditional nuclear people, or they are homophobic. And nobody wants to be called homophobic, so they're just all going in instead of standing up for the traditional way of life. This is fact, I'm telling you. I'm crazy, but I know this is fact. We have caused this because we have taken everything that they identify with as human beings away from them. So we've taken their sexuality and their identity in that away, cultural identity away, racial identity away, national identity away. We have taken everything from them. The government has taken everything from our children across the board. Nobody will ever be a millionaire in Canada again, multi-millionaire, enjoy the life we had in the 90s. Nobody. You will all be just an average communist person, unless you were special in government, etc. But that's what caused it. You took our identity away. And so all of the kids are looking for something to belong to. And when we come forward and we say, you know what, look, we want to revive the nation. We want to revive our culture. We want to take all of our children back in underneath our family lines and registrations, because this government disenfranchisement has cut our population in half. We want to live the way we are allowed to, and we want you to beat it and let us. That's the way it has to be. Because look at society today. You can very clearly see what happens when you take away a person's national identity, racial identity, sexual identity, gender identity, cultural, everything. Then they're left. They're looking for something. They're looking for a leader. They're looking for someone to follow. They want to be part of something, because people, like horses, cows, or other mammals, are herd animals. We're herd mammals. So it is our nature to come into large groups. When we can't come into that group because of our race, our culture, our sex, our way, we are hurt. And so the only way to be a part of something that appears to be a bigger movement than anything in this world today is to, well, hell, let's join the LGBTQ. We don't have to be like that to join it. We can just join it. We'll be recognized. Are you kidding me? You're destroying a nation by forcing people to exchange their national pride, cultural pride, sexual pride, personal identity, everything in exchange for a rainbow flag and a t-shirt and the right to march down the street. And I will say, I don't like that. I saw the Toronto Pride Parade, and yes, I know my one side of my face is dropped again. I saw the Toronto Pride Parade, and I saw the guys walking up and down the street with the kids up, wearing their peacock underwears, only covering their privates, with little girls and boys, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, walking along with them. After growing up the way I did, I was enraged. Yeah. I wanted to do what's that guy's name? Malokian? The guy that drove down the streets of Toronto and just ran everybody over. That's horrible. But that day, I wanted to do that. Because it's disgusting. It's abuse in its own form. And you're an idiot for not recognizing it. Because most people who live that lifestyle live it because somebody introduced them to it as a child and hurt them. And in order for them to escape the pain and the anguish, they had to become okay with it. I could never become okay with it. So I've been tormented my entire life. Where I'm assuming if they become okay with it, well then it's not such an abuse that rides on their mind every fucking day, like it does me. So when I see that at a pride parade, yeah, I'm angry. Because those children don't even know what sex is, let alone emotional love. It's a crime. And you're ridiculous for allowing it.